I'm just gonna let this one sit here for a second. Where you at? Get in here. Just take it in. I'm gonna figure out these cameras. Oh. All right, I gotta leave one open because we're doing. Oh, hey, buddy. I guess I can do this over here. I'll put you over here. Percolate. And I'll put this over here because we're doing camera stuff. So, ooh, I moved that guy. So this is, I made the base canvas size 4K so that each window here is just a strict proportion or whatever. It's 720p. Like I made sure that if you were to clip this out of a 4K image, it would be 720p of P's. So, and we need to keep this one open because we're doing camera stuff. And boy, howdy, are we doing camera stuff? I can taste it. I can taste the photons. And that little shiny bit. That's what we're interested in, is the electrons that are shuttling off of that little shiny, that small one of these. It's not really, but I mean, shiny rectangle. It's the opposite of one of these. This turns electricity into light. This turns light into electricity. And it keeps the pattern and our brains can use it. Focus. What are we doing? We're good. SkellyBot can see now. John can see. John Lindstedt made it can see now. Oh, am I flashing it? I'm not, but oof, that was... Could have been. This is the example, and... SkellyBot. Am I doing anything? Why would I be sad about that? Documentation. Oh, I should push 1.1. I don't want to. Cameras. Whoop, what did I just click? We'll talk about SkellyBot. We'll talk about SkellyBot soon enough. World. Let's remember what we're made of. Okay, who are you and what are we doing here? I am going to be extravagant. Because I'm so sick of leaning all the way over to unplug this particular camera. Do I need another one? Extravagant. Treat yourself and all that. Oh, is there another one in reach? Almost certainly somewhere. Yeah. That's way too big. Daisy. Who stopped? This might be too much, but we'll see. Who are you? It's Mr. Sloth. Is it you? Oh, it is you. That's too many. Right? It's gotta be. So these are digital signals as opposed to analog, like the old VGA. When a VGA cable would get screwy, it would, I guess I can still pull this closer. It will degrade kind of like, I don't know, analogically. Like the colors will start getting screwy and like it'll like fuzz and stuff like that. Digital signals have the advantage of if the signal makes it, it'll be intact. But if it breaks down, you get like hard glitches, like block glitches. Okay, like when I was in grad school, we would do VR stuff with VGA cables, and we would wear these like backpacks. Grandpa, are you talking about the backpacks again? Yes, it's always been backpacks. It's a very useful thing about being a biped. You get this kind of shelf that you can walk around with and kind of just like wobble around. That's where I keep that. But yeah, so we'd walk around and do experiments, and like the cable would twist, and then people would be like, everything is pink now, and it's like, oh, the green cable is cut. I've been doing this for a while. It's fucked up. 2008. 1 second per second. Unreasonably fast. Inappropriately fast. See, now we just have the one. Okay, so it's still... So the cable from the camera goes through to this shorty extension cable. By shorty I mean 6 foot. And then it goes to this other, more robust extension cable, which is 10 feet. And I shan't throw that away. Also wish I had like a close-up camera I could switch to, like the cool guys on the internet. So those 4, you can probably see them. We talked about this before, but those 4 little dark bands on that are copper. You can any USB just look in. There's 2 coppers. The 2 on the outside are 5-volt power. The 2 on the inside are 3.3 volt data. Power is positive minus. Data's positive minus. And the power supplies the power, and the data sends the data. And so the power has no pattern. The data has a pattern, and then the pattern encodes the data, and the data is driven by the where'd it go? The machinery. I had that little thing just now, didn't I? Did I knock it off? Yes. That's what kicks off the electrons because of the crystal, whatever the shit this is, like the physical properties of this. When it gets hit with a 5-volt power from these 2 pins, it becomes entangled. I don't know. And then photons hit it, and the rectangle of them. And then this guy bends them all in, so and through this guy, which filters the IR, because I don't know. Oh man, I should crack one of the IR filters out of this thing. If I do that, I won't do other stuff. Oh, actually, what I'm going to do, so later, I'm going to do a stream. I'm going to start doing streams on Thursdays is how we're going to do that. And I do want to we're going to dissect some cameras. Ooh, maybe I can bring in my oscilloscope, because I don't actually know how to use that. Oh, I'll bet Michael does. I'll bet what's his name does. Max definitely does. And I really want to know how to use an oscilloscope. Okay, these are cameras that don't work. That's a good task, actually. Okay, speaking of things that don't work, how about the code that you're trying to build a life on? No, that's not the priority. Explaining cameras to nobody. But I know it's not nobody, like non-zeros people. I don't know who you are, but I appreciate you. Oh, God in heaven. One thing at a time. We have some sacrificial cameras over there. I should bring them all these toys. The children need the toys, you see. They're not children, they're adults, but it's like funny to my head. That's like kind of like comedic overstatement, maybe, is the joke that's going on there. Anyways, where are you at? Who are you? What are we doing? This is like the one, like the somatic approach to neural divergence. Like, this is one of those moments of like, there's like the popping to of like, wait, what? Where was I? I was like, you were following a particular dopamine rabbit hole. It's like, oh, okay, cool. Was anything down there? It's like, yeah, a little bit. You know. So that's why you got to keep track. Ratchets. Pull it till it clicks, and then you can walk away. Progress capture. And then that means you can come back to it at another time. That's why I think the bot server thing is so useful. It's because like I can go back to any of these conversations at any time and just pick it straight up, whatever we were talking about. Pretty cool, if you ask me, which you didn't, because you are elsewhere in time and space. But as we were saying, all right, this was a thing I remember from Twitch. Like, I can move this around, and it's like, oh, hey. There's like some transitional. Oh, yeah, because it goes from the screen. Oh, and it's got the fractal thing, so it's sort of like, the transition. Snap back to reality. Snap back. Oh, snap to the edge of the screen. And someday I'll put like I could draw in here. I was gonna move this over, but I don't want to change their positions because it's so consistent across the other ones. Alice vision mesh of this room. No. Don't. Okay. Skelly, new window. I need to merge 1.1, but I want to change some of the. I want to change some of the words. I should work on that with. We should do this more draft based, I think. Or I should stream it. I should record it and then pull clips. Yeah. The clip, long form recording, short form video. Like, I think that's a powerful communicative mode. Especially if it gets auto sorted into a dynamic tree. I'm gonna throw up. Okay, focus. Alrighty, Camamaras. Where did we were last time? Well, let me tell you, it was quite a scene. We got here. Oh yeah, we like. Oh right, yes, we killed Mr. WebSocket. And we still. Oh, that's so funny. Is that? Oh, this is a good example too. All that stuff with the camera that I was doing, where I was like flipping it around. Wrong camera. Because how like explicitly, because it was manipulating one that I could see on the screen, and I was trying to hook it up for like the SkellyCam stuff. This is now you see how difficult I am. Don't dox yourself, Johnny. Be careful. It's a quote. All right, I wanted to send these ducks to Kayla. I'll do that later. They're not really very like the information is good, but the org is bad. Organization is bad. Teaching is. A powerful exercise in humility and cognitive task decomposition. Empathetic cognitive task decomposition? Okay. Do we have a timer? Always. The timer is time. Time. 20 minutes in. 20-minute interval is also, I think, a somatically tangible time. Ooh. So, you kill this one, who is labeled as B. They're all labeled like actually all four of these cameras are labeled with completely different methods. This one has a letter B. That one has tape on it that actually doesn't match anything there. This one does match B. And that extension cable, like giving them the same letter is not the right idea. This is a rabbit hole, it's fine. That one I put like sparkly finger paint. What is it? Fingernail polish. That's funny. Oh man, I'm gonna remember that. And it's like, cause like every time I get a new batch or whatever, I like, oh, let me try this method. I think the next one is colored. I think colored electrical tape is the better one because color is not ordinal. Letters and numbers are. And it's a bad idea to think of these as ordinal because they do move around. Think of them as just identities. Anyways, B is the one that we're actually trying to do the extension-y, cable-y thingy to. So kadoink, kadoink, kadoink. And you don't, and like this is also like having the letters on both sides for cameras and extension cables is bad because it's like I just unplugged B from B and did I have to? Wait, no, I did that wrong. Focus, fucker. Again, that's not negative self-talk. It's just alliteration. Oh, but I shifted around this whole thing. B is still connected to B. So we do, which is actually good because then if we go down to the back, we can know which camera is down there. And these are still going through, like, we're still in a space where, like, hard, like, the USB hard port is the one you want to be going through. Like, extensions, like, USB extensions maybe at some point soon, but not quite yet. Okay, this one go back anywhere. These should all be working. But I do need to, like, actually, I don't really. So these are the types that have the little bulb on them. I don't really know what that is. Oh, excuse me. But it like, I use it sometimes to, like, you know, you can put it above or below a little tie and it will or will not slide through kind of thing. There we go. Yeah. Incidentally, this is also why touchscreens never really took off. It's because of a UX phenomenon known as gorilla arm. It is pretty exhausting to hold your arms up in front of you for any amount of time. So, like, any touchscreen thing has to be, like, really intermittent. Or, like, on a laptop type of place, because this is not comfortable. Okay, I've killed all of my cameras. On purpose, though. I'm confused. Where'd you go? Which one are you? Oh, you're the one I plugged. I just unplugged. Red light says power. Green light says signal. Oh, I guess that's probably. Oh, right. Because, the 5-volt stuff probably powers the red, and then the data ports in the middle probably power the green light. Is that right? Probably. Oh, and then the power control would come from the host, which is the computer. Too deep. Then you, which one are you? You are, come on. I think you're sloth. Are they in order? We're all in, y'all. I'm also really looking forward to the day where this is also on path with SkellyBot. Like, once it's like, because SkellyBot's going to give us the ability to do blah blah blah. Ooh. What was it saying? SkellyCam. Like, sort of on the fly processing more easily. That's like the whole point. So what I really want to do, also, like, the next UX is going to be electron-y, JavaScript-y, whatever, like web dev, like proper, like the professional ones, like what the pros use. Probably Electron, TypeScript, I don't know. Like, it will be TypeScript, but Electron, TypeScript, and then Vue.js with, like, 3JS for the 3D components. As far as I got. But I learned how to write TypeScript, JavaScript-y stuff with SkellyBot. Right. Oh, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Because one of the things I really want to do here is, like, it would be so easy. So easy. Once we're getting, like, real-time, even just, like, media pipe face stuff, to tell which camera I'm looking at. Either with my face, but it could probably get my eyes. Why am I out of breath right now? Or not out of breath, I'm just kind of like, Oh, yeah, right. Because this is the, This is the come up of my medication, which I went on a whole freaking rabbit hole about that last time. Like I went all the way down. Did I post that? Or is that still in the, there's like some 20-minute chunklets that I haven't uploaded yet because I tried auto chunking by 20-minute, and it's a good idea, and the auto file watcher video eater mechanism is functional and will eventually work, but until then I'm not going to upload all that shit, so it's going to come out temporarily out of order, but that's why the dates are whatever they are. It's when they were recorded, not when they were uploaded. Yeah, so this is that like come up phase in the ADHD's medication where I feel like strangely more anxious because it's like subthreshold. Okay. And yellow. For a long time, like years, there was a hole here in my desk that was just like, because it was a really old desk. And so I was like really self-conscious about letting the camera see it because it looks so bad. And this desk is actually now, I found one of my neighbors was throwing away like the same IKEA top. So I just took the top and flipped it upside down. That's why this is like raw wood, and then just put it here, extended it out, and now it's like like nice. It's really nice. I like it. Like I had to like bolt it through. Stupid. Oh, wonderful. Okay, fuck everything in the world. Who we gonna drop? I could drop you. Don't want that one. Well, this is the one that's gonna be like, yeah, when media pipe's here, like I'll bet like upper left, upper right, lower left. Like I bet we can. If only we knew someone that could get like 3D from multiple viewpoints and had experience with like projecting laser eyeballs out of skeleton-like objects, but I can't even imagine. It seems impossible. Okay, we are going to, in the interest of artistic expression, this is Moose. This is Moose camera. See, I gave him emojis because emojis and colors. Colors with the visual distinction, emojis so I can say Moose camera. Or actually camera moose, but linguistically it's the same. Camera moose because that way it will sort with the rest of the cameras. If it was a sorting type of thing, which is not. Why is, see, oh no, it's this one, see. Red light, no green light. Oh, I have a little mirror. I have a box of mirrors. Like I bought like a bunch of mirror like squares, and I got that new rubberizing stuff. I should protect the edges and then have it, because that's always been a good way to like show the camera to the camera, because that's how light works. Okay. We got a camera that's asleep. I forgot that it was. Whenever I have a problem with the camera, I'll just write a note on it. Blinky boy. What does it say? Intermittent flashing blinky boy. Because whenever I have those problems, it's like it's a credit assignment problem. It's like, is that a problem with the camera? Or is it a problem with the cable? Or is it a problem with the port? Is it a problem with overloaded CPU? Hard to know. So all I know is that it's the endpoint that I see that problem come is this viewpoint, this guy, and so I mark it, and then if I find myself coming back and it's like, oh, it keeps having that problem, then it's like more evidence in favor of that. But of course that only works if I'm swapping out the other stuff. It's too many things. I'm glad that I throw up when I'm overwhelmed is a joke that has persisted in my life. I won't name names, but if you're who knows? Who knows? I don't know. That's the whole point. The whole point of the little numbers. I know, like, I'm bad at keeping up with people from my past. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It feels stressful to put on the old suits, you know? Focus, fuckwit. Oh, wait. That felt worse. Focus fucker just sounds... It's fun to say. Focus fuckwit felt... It's like, hey, man. That's not cool. We're talking to our invisible hypothetical future parasocial friends. We are cockatiel. Okay, we can just run it now, right? Run it. Run it, you coward. No debugger, man. We just go for it. This is what robotics looks like, by the way. Like, unbelievable. It's like so many logs. This is what robotics looks like. This is like, yeah. Also software, but like, you know. I think, when I think about like, where did I get the mega logs from? I think I probably got that from the dynamic walking folks. I need to contact them about the potential workshop in the summer. Because they know how to do it, and I know them, and they know me, and like, they've known me since I was a wee lad. I need to like remember not to take the like mentorship of those which have come before me for granted. Yeah, this thing. It's just sometimes it's like you don't rely on me, so I don't feel as bad. Like, I don't know, de-emphasizing it, but it's also like, I don't, you know, it's hard to imagine. Like, I guess at this point I have had my own younglings fly the nest, and I'm like, how are you doing? And when I contact them and they don't contact me back, or they contact me back like way late, I never judge them. So Khalil Gibran said, "Your children are not yours; they are the children of time." Is a prophet. Where the shit are we? Who are you? What are we doing? Focus, fucker. See? Better. Yeah, you're sad. Uh-huh. Error in a log message, man. Don't do that. Received. Oh, received. If response. Oh, right. Oh, ooh. Right. Because this is the bullshit. This is that dumb stuff. This is where we sloppy poppied the nonsense. I might want to double check that. That's another one that's fun to say, but it's just like, is that a, I don't know. I think if you don't know, then you know. Maybe it's just keeping on theme. And what's the theme? On brand? Maintaining the loose storyline. Come on, where are we? Compressed payload. So what do? So we have, oh right, and we had that guy, and we were like, oh, and I was like, why is it so small? I think I explicitly cut it in half. In effort to, right, that's okay. This is where we are. And I think what I can do, actually, I should, stealing from John, JKL. I'm gonna hit this and it'll get stuck in the debugger. But in his capstone class, he has been enforcing like a work journal, which I think is a really good idea. It's what I'm also doing, and I should recommend it to the ones who sometimes listen. Who are you? We are on the router. We're on the backside. We're in the get latest frames. This is not going to return because can you be async? Is you supposed to be async? I think you is. That's why things are freezing. Yep. I should make sure that async, connect to cameras. Async. Wait, is this right? Do we want to be async in this world? We've done this before. We've learned this lesson before. Don't add complexity here. Async, that's like, it's not necessary. It might later be a good idea. Why did we come into this place? Because we were looking at this. We were wondering about... Oh, why didn't it work the first time through? We're going to leave it for now, but like I think async stuff is going to come in. Because the thing is, like, there's so much like sub-processing and threads and processes and async, and it's Python. This is where like the Python slop comes in. Like concurrency in Python is just like what are we gonna do here? Oh, right. We were going to SkellyBot dev, and we split this. We did split the SkellyCam. Nice. And we're going to make a work journal. Which can be duplicated. So, edit channel. This is for running notes recorded during a given work session. Save, close. Now, I've never been clear, because this is like, a lot of the stuff over here is sloppy and inconsistent. Like the drag and drop is weird and stuff like that. Duplicate channel, I'm not sure what it duplicates. So let's figure out. If it duplicates the topic, then we are in business because, okay, and it puts it at the bottom. No, it puts it in the same, which is right, which is good and right. Doesn't copy the, I knew it, stupid fucking thing. Discord. What's the point of it? What's like, why have the mechanism of duplicate if it doesn't duplicate? Oh. Actually, even more powerful than this. Delete this. We don't need this because classic another thing. Instead of making two, I can just drag this into other categories when I'm working in other stuff. And when I pop a new whatever in here, it'll just pick it up from wherever it is. So right now we're working in SkellyCam, so we drag it into SkellyCam. Now we can have fewer total channels that way. This is also duplicate. Should we name this to general? Oh my god, is it all gonna be drag and drop like that? I don't know. We said no, it's just fucking whatever. Noticing we have yet. Oh, we did a little bit. But we're clearly not heading yet. Okay, because we are doing this, because we are opening a new chat, and we're just going to say tab, work journal 2024-02-22, which I think is the only place where it would see the date. Morning session. Yeah, why not? First session. Session 1. Session 1. Session 0 would be prep. Or I could just keep it by date, because that was that was possibly a, yeah. Let's make an edit. Can we edit thread? So that was a classification that didn't need to exist yet. Like right now, we only have one of these, and we're like a pre-optimization, I think is the term. And I was like, oh well, there's going to be multiple. Eventually, there's going to be a case where there's going to be multiple sessions per day, so I should differentiate between them. We don't need that yet. So don't do it yet. Not always a good idea, but that's what we're doing. SkellyBot, what do you... Oh, because it sees it as a system message. Part of Discord's sloppy ontology, I would say. And the whole reason why we did this, of course, we all remember, is so that I could get myself back up to speed. Go to my personal server. This is where we complain that Discord can only take voice memos in the mobile app and not on the desktop app. What the shit? Why can't you just see my microphone? Oh, right. It's because you, like, in general can't figure out how to handle audio. Like... Here we are. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay for whatever. Freemium. Fuck your freemium. Fuck your freemium model. I think this falls under fuck. This absolutely falls under fuck your freemium model. Found that yesterday, and I'm happy to have it. Okay. So we gotta be careful with these words, because the bot doesn't have the context to differentiate nothing. Okay, so we are picking up SkellyCam dev work from yesterday, and if I recall correctly, where we got to yesterday was that we decided that we were gonna not use the WebSocket route to get the frames from the cameras, because we could just use the HTTP post or HTTP get route by just adding a get latest frames route, and then we don't need the WebSocket connection. Now, we had tried this in the past and had abandoned the idea, but I think where we came to yesterday was that it ignores silences. I think last time I had a bug with the transcription where it started, like the recording was good, but the transcription broke, which was unsettling, but that's fine. Right, it didn't work, and I can't quite remember why. I think it was based on a misunderstanding that I had about like long running processes. So I think this is actually a good solution. And so I put some kind of sloppy proof of concept stuff in there just to show that an image could make it through, and it did. It was smaller than I thought, but I used to think that was because the config wasn't making it through, but now I think it's because I was actively doing it to sort of make the data transfer less, and I think I can probably turn that off. That was in whichever part of the back end is sort of receiving frames from the deep guts of SkellyCam. But yeah, and I put like a JPEG compression on it, which makes sense because because I think in previous like attempts at like looking at compression and stuff, lossless PNG compression is expensive. Like it takes a long time. JPEG compression is super fast and it makes it small, but it's lossy, which makes sense. It's a trade-off. And doing a lossy compression to send to the front end is fine. Because that's just vision images. That's for the human to look at. Like it's not real data. The real data is being stored on the back end, but not yet. So we need to add the like the video recorder stuff. That's on the dev side. We need to add the video recorder stuff. It should all be mostly set up. I think it might just literally need to be connected to the buttons. I think the functionality might be there. It might even. Actually, don't know. I guess the images are being if they're not being logged because I think the tripwire for start recording is never being set, but I think it's in place. So I think we just need to hit it from an endpoint, and that would be good enough. It is a stateful backend. I think is sort of a head trigger thing. Like you hit it with endpoints and things change, and then you hit it again, and like the state of the backend is different, and that's why we can use the HTTP routes. We don't need a WebSocket. We also last time determined that the multi-frame payload stuff that I had done in the past of like the to and from bytes conversion stuff, super overkill, super not. I think not worth it. I think should be like excised. So I think we should slaughter the WebSocket stuff because we don't need it, and also like gut the hell out of the payload stuff and like go back to basics and make it simpler. And we'll just tag it in. I'll commit. We can come back to it if we want to. Thank it for what it taught us and then put it in the ground. Rule number 1, don't fall in love with your code. Okay. Please take this transcript and format it into a markdown code block with H1, H2 headings and bullet points, and say nothing else. Pull out topic tags. Written in kebab case, wrapped in backticks and separated by commas. Outside of the main markdown code block. I feel like that was too long. Okay. Okay, how do we do here? Gosh, I wish I could close this. Okay, picking up. Yep. I guess I need. Oh, that's what I need. God damn it! I need a method to just scrape a subset of the server into Markdown and then just throw it onto a GitHub repo and auto build docs from it on a cron job timer. And then build curricula referencing it via vector store retrieval, augmented generation. It's fine. This is that, and the task at hand. Yeah, I wish it could be like actual hashtags, because that's how tags are in my brain. But that is, it will screw up the formatting because it'll be looking for channels, which is it's fine. We're using the tool for something it wasn't made for. Like, it's fine that it doesn't work right. But it is a freemium model, so we have that going for us. We also need to fix it. It doesn't die hard enough. Oh, no, it does. I gotta start looking at that one. Let's do that. Oh, this was a bad idea. I see now. This one, now we have two similar views. I see. That's why I did it last time. Because you still have the 3 views. I don't want to fix that. I guess I do. It's easy. This is... It's funny. Like, there's... I find myself, like... This feels too much like bookkeeping now. Like, I don't have any quest. I think I know how it works, but I don't know. I'm just wondering why I'm like not being as on target today. Moose. And then is this rabbit? No. Well, that one is. Is that rabbit? That is rabbit. Okay, so these has to be mixed. No, that's sloth. We are cow, rabbit, cow. What's wrong? What? Fix your brain, Johnny. Cow. Oh. I don't know how to turn the snap edge on. Oop. Cow. Rabbit. Sloth. Moose. Sloth. The lack of pixel perfect alignment is going to be a problem if I ever try to clip these, but I don't really expect to do that. Even if I do, it'll just be a few pixels on the edges. Who gives a shit? Okay, so we got that. Now we're looking at it, and we can see it if it's on or off. The zombie thing is not going to be as hard to figure out. So I think the quickest route to an important victory is to let the images go through. That will be, oh my god, I want that. I do want that. I do want that very much. Thank you very much. That is what I want. And then, okay. And we'll, because I want to be like calling out these things that I, like the one, smaller, shorter lumps of text. Yes. Okay. And I think that the images is enough of a reward that I will keep on track with that. I'm trying to like trick myself into bulldogging on stuff. Specifically right now in this work session, we're working on getting the images to show up on the front end, which is that will be a big functional unlock because it will actually visibly work. Keep a running note of all the main points and like most important things of this work session. Use the same formatting, restate the formatting before you do it in the code block, and Be concise. Okay. I can't remember. I feel like I had something else I was supposed to say, but I can't remember what it was. It'll be fine. Oh, the async stuff. And remember that I need to check in on like whether or not the functions defining the endpoints should be synchronous or asynchronous. Because like the backend has a lot of like processes and threads and stuff like that. So, and I know that in Python, like async and processes and threads don't play super well together. But I'm not sure if there's something different about that because it's a Unicorn server. So, hey bot, update the note with this question, but if you have an answer to it, give a very, very concise answer, like 1 to 2 sentences or less, and like tag it appropriately in your message saying that, like, you know, like to keep it separate from the logs. This is nice. I'm figuring out like my preferred formatting of its response, so I will eventually be able to like fold that into like the channel level prompt like instructions and stuff. Although it also like I being able to call it on the fly is actually often more useful than hard coding it. But this formatting is one that I'm quite used to, because then I can copy it and like, yeah. Asynchronous functions allow for concurrent processing. However, it's taken when using async with threads and processes due to the Unicorn being an ASGI server is designed to handle asynchronous operations efficiently. And then I think also like the task of like calling out what you're doing. An hour. Again, there's a feeling there. Maybe it's like always like an hour of like fucking around and then another hour of actual work, which I eventually get salty about and grumpy. Quick follow-up to that answer. Again, keep it tagged and separated. What is an ASGI server? What does that stand for? And your answer was a little bit ambiguous. If it is a Unicorn server running Python code that includes a lot of processes and threads, should the top level methods defining the endpoints of the HTTP routes be synchronous or asynchronous? What are the pros and cons of... No, scratch the pros and cons stuff. What would be the effects if it was synchronous versus if it was asynchronous? What, like, if it's asynchronous, if it's like a standard function, like something would freeze, right? Like if it's a long running function, like something would freeze. But would the whole backend get locked? Also, this is being run in a Python multi-processing process. Stupid. The answer to all of this is don't use Python. Like, don't use Python if you're doing concurrency, I think, because that's the lesson that I've learned. It's like wrong tool, wrong job. Like, you know. Asynchronous server gateway interface. It's a specification for Python asynchronous web servers and applications. Okay, for long-running functions, using asynchronous endpoints prevents the whole backend from freezing, allowing other requests to be processed concurrently. Oh, it blocks other requests. That's probably why SkellyBot... no, there's no Python in SkellyBot. Never mind. No fast API in SkellyBot. Different mystery. However, using synchronous endpoints could block the server from processing if other requests. In a multiprocessing environment, the effect of blocking may be mitigated by having multiple processes handle requests. This, I guess, is where if I wanted to rabbit hole down here, I would go down there, but I don't want to. Let's fix it later. It's fine enough for now. It's fine if it freezes. You'll get over it. I'll fix it later. Just wait. Okay. So, camera group manager, get latest frames. And we want to, we're okay with it being small and blue, because we're just trying to connect the pips to the pipes, if you know what I mean. We'll fix that other stuff later. We're not doing WebSockets. I'm not going to delete it just yet, but I will soon. Because I've just been burned before. I think I'm just going to do it. Damn it, come on. For long run. Is there ever, can you think of a reason why it would ever be a better idea to have, to use synchronous endpoint methods versus async endpoint functions? I should be clear about this, because I feel like we're now getting into that, like this is like the specialist part of the Ruliad. So like specificity is probably helpful here, because also I think it's going to be one of those things where like it's going to give me something that's like off, but I'm still going to hopefully be able to like pull something out of it. I don't think it's going to give me the right answer here, or rather I don't think I would be able to act on this answer without causing problems. In scenarios where the endpoints perform CPU-bound operations that don't benefit from async concurrency, or when the code base is simpler and doesn't involve I/O-bound tasks, synchronous endpoints might be preferable for their simplicity and directness. Additionally, if the server is not expected to handle the potential blocking behavior of synchronous, may not be an issue. So there's never a disadvantage or potential problem of using async functions for fast API, UVicorn, HTTP endpoints, other than that they are more confusing than standard functions. Trying to really push it. Like that's a bold statement. Can lead to async functions can lead to complications if not managed correctly, such as issues with thread safety and compatibility with libraries that are not designed for async use. Furthermore, if the async function is not actually performing I/O operations and awaiting other tasks, it might be unnecessary overhead of the async event loop without any real performance gain. Give me an example of a time when using an, I'm gonna say the whole thing. It's like, this is how you know. This is how you know it's on the precise part. It's like I don't want to screw up any of these words, because I feel like got something. It's like squeezing a tapioca ball. Also, this is I maybe should have split off. This is the work journal, like long running thing, potentially problematic for a variety of reasons. using it together could lead to thread safety issues. Be specific, but concise. This is another, like, so in my head, like a couple minutes ago, I was like, oh, it's really good to keep it labeled and blah, blah, blah. But like, oh, but also that's not how I was like naturally using it. So maybe that's not the right move. It's like, if shares data with other parts of the code that are not designed to be thread safe, such as modifying a global variable or accessing a non-thread safe library, could lead to race. That's actually, that could actually cause problems, because they're gonna, you don't know, because it's gonna be sending a lot of requests. What happens if, this actually might be key, what would happen if, oh shit, an endpoint receives a request while a previous request is still being processed? Will it bounce or try to complete? I know it will try to complete, but I want to see what the bot says. Is there a way, I know this one too, determine to custom method to bounce an incoming request if the backend from the front end client, if the back end server still processing the previous request. Will be queued after. This is a rabbit hole, but it's like, it's like architecture level like functionality that I'm not sure about. And so I don't really want to link it up, because I might find something out here that's like, oh wait, do it like this, don't do it like that. Oh, watch out for this test, or like whatever. Because like the kinds of things it's talking about, like I could see that being the kind of thing where like if we send too many requests to like get frames from the cameras and they're not properly protected. I think they are properly protected, but I don't think I'd consider the possibility that some might come in while the other one is being processed. I think this should be pretty fast at this point, possibly like zero, like order and nothing, whatever. Because I think it might just be getting a preloaded frame, and if it's not there, it just gets nothing. So that would be basically instantaneous. But you could imagine a situation, especially later when we're doing processing on the images, where it might take more than 33 seconds to complete. And if that's the case, or like lower than the frame duration or whatever. And so if that happens, we have to have a way to like determine, hey, don't like, making sure that nothing, it doesn't like pull something out of order or some crazy nonsense like that. So we're going to keep on this rabbit hole. Tell me more. This is interesting too, because now there's like the video stream is a certain record, and then the text string is like a sub record. I like that concept actually, sub records. Interesting. Okay. Tell me more about this queue. Is there a way to see what's in it? Can I like print the current QEUE in a log file? Middleware. This is also it's like I came across the term middleware relatively recently. I think when I was doing SJS stuff with SkellyBot. And now it's like the name makes sense. It's in the middle of something, but I was like, oh, that's advanced for me. I don't need to worry about that. But now I'm actually kind of like, they might have come up naturally. It's not a queue you can directly interact with or print. However, you can log incoming requests in their processing status using Fast API's logging capabilities, and or middleware to track the flow of requests and responses. This won't show you a literal queue, but it will give you an idea of the order and timing of request handling. Yes, please give me that. Let's implement that request response logging status stuff. I want this so bad. This is the thing that I'm always like, I was so impressed by on the browser. This is SkellyBot on the cloud, but there's nothing doxing here. This is actually probably a good thing to reload. It's like network. Like this waterfall. That's what I want. Look at it go. That's what I want. I want to see that for this thing on both sides and like oh, Jesus. Okay, bye. Okay, app.middleware HTTP log request call next request ID. Whose ID? Is that where's ID come from? Is that like a built-in? It's orange. What's this? So check this out. Why is where does ID come from? Is it built in? Doing a hypothesis test here. The markdown linter makes it orange. Why? What that denote? But I'm not going to send it yet. Queues, questions. Number them so it can number them back. Don't send this yet, and I think this text is protected. I think if I go somewhere else, it will stay. But if I refresh it, it might not. I'm not going to test that. Yes, I am. Control-Alt, Control-C. I'm not in a voice channel, so this is fine. Control-R, refresh. I'll bet it's gone. Yeah. But that hard refresh is rare. Like, I have to hit that intentionally. So, okay, fair enough. And also, it's not that valuable. And it's also double logged. Ooh, double logs. What are you doing? I don't know if I'm going to implement this. Because I do want to hit that victory point, and this is not necessary yet. Log the request start, request ID, request.method, request.url, start at start time. Process the request, response equals await call next. What's the call next thing? What would it be type hint as? Is it tell me more about the middleware decorator. this might just be superstition, but I always like to like sort of double hint at it. It's like give it the syntax and the semantics or whatever that I'm asking about. Autogogical tokens, not autogogical, auto denoting, whatever. If I another 45 minutes, it'll be roughly 10 a.m. There you go. Then I don't have time to do. I should do a class recording before I go onto campus because I think. Oh, right. I do know what I want to tell to them now. Say to them now, so I do that. I think I'm gonna have them have an assignment that's basically like clean up your category and like fit the like we know what we're gonna do here for now, so I can give more direct instructions. And every time I say something, I'm just gonna make it a 1-point assignment. Like, it's it's like it. I think that's respectful to them. I think because that's their motivational structure. So I don't need to come in and tell them like, hey, how you motivate yourself is the wrong way to motivate yourself, especially in a context where they don't really get a choice. That feels like a good emotional. That's a good. Yes, I'm happy to have found that thought. Technically, it is on the record. It's new to me. This is my first time defining middleware in Fast API Unicorn, or anywhere really. What's the basics I should know? Any tips or gotchas or rules of thumb or best practices? Just thinking about how problematic that scene in what was it? Boondock Saints was, where like the queer coded feminist worker in the factory like went on a whole like rant about rules of thumb, and so then he's like, well, what if I could hit you with a bigger stick? It's like, what was the purpose of this scene? What work did it do? What were you trying to imply about these characters that you wanted me to connect with? Because it was like an establishing scene for the main characters. It's like, what's the message you're trying to send here, friend? And how can we sort of relate this to that weird scene at the end with the drag? Your only other queer-coded character. Tell me how I should connect these dots, please. Punch it. No, I wasn't supposed to do that. Okay. Seeing if I understand this. It's about call next. Processing time. Total seconds. Date time. Oh, okay. Total seconds. Like, give me fractional seconds? Probably. It'd be weird if it didn't. Log the requests and... I'm going to do that. And now I can have a thing, and it can be called middleware. Because like when Endurance set this up, there was like a thing called middleware, and I was like, I don't know what that is, but it's so cool. Like middleware, I want that. I want to be cool enough to say that. And now, perhaps, I am. We're in Revicorn server, Fast API app, yeah. I'll hit it here first. Thank you. And then I'll hit it here, and I'll say, ooh, that went. Control Alt M, not working. I'll bet NVIDIA took it over, because they took over some of my other keyboard shortcuts recently. Right click some. I bet it's a NVIDIA. NVIDIA probably took over that shortcut, and it's like not appropriate for the setting, so it's just doing nothing. Okay, who are you? Refactor. Extract method. and we're going to call it, oh, no, not extract method, F6 to move. That does still work. And we're going to call it middleware. Because we're cool guys. And now this is getting complicated. I want to, I'll glump them together into a folder later. Middleware. But you still got to import your guys. Oof. It wants it from Fast API. This is where it might burn me. Yeah. Oh, right. This. Yeah. I'm not worried about it, to be honest. I don't know. I'm not sure what his concern is. I know that it is scary. Okay, so the app, when we did app stuff, what we had to do is we had to do this kind of thing. I'm just gonna put it inside. Register routes, register middleware. Self.register middleware. I really should have middleware, huh? That's not language I'm using yet, so we won't. And then we say it such as this. And then we say such as this. Right? Is this right? Oh, God. How do we do this elsewhere? Do it. Okay, we're gonna keep it in file. This file is we still are allowed to do it because it's short. We're still not over. Oh, we're at 100 lines. So now it is becoming illegal in this house. This is also why don't you see the one from Fast API? Fast API request. This like if someone knows what they're doing and they're watching this, it's probably like a horror movie. It's like, don't do it. Don't go in there. Dramatic irony. Okay, theoretically. Okay, let's read what we're talking about now. We still have 37 minutes. Okay. Now, context. It's like switching context is expensive, so don't cover up a window you're still trying to use. When you can just turn your head. The middleware decorator in Fast API is used to create a function that runs before every request gets processed by the endpoints and after the response is generated. Seems right to me. It allows you to manipulate the request to response to perform actions like logging. Basics to know. Middleware is executed for every incoming request. It should always return a response. Order matters. The first middleware declared is the outermost layer. It's got layers, guys. Bookending. Concepts. Keep middleware functions efficient to avoid slowing down response times. Tips. Use middleware sparingly for cross-cutting concerns like logging, authentication, etc. Don't put business logic in middleware. Keep it in the endpoint functions. ID is a built-in. Oh, yeah, it's number. It's either bad at counting. This one was labeled 0, but it labeled it 1 because it was the first one. They're bad with numbers. I need to get some water. It's like it's winter dehydration stuff. You know that feeling? The air's so dry. Air so dry. Dry air dehydration. Yeah. I'm dry air dehydrated, you see. ID is a built-in Python function that returns a unique... Oh, God, that's so fucking useful. And it's a built-in, which means it's supposed to be a primitive. This is why you ask the machine to write code for you. Because it will always do... It will always do it in the most straight down the belly of the statistical possibility space way possible, which in like written language town means boring. In code town, you really don't want to be creative when you're writing code. If you find yourself feeling like you're being clever, I got some bad news for you. You got to be real smart to do things dumb. ID is a built-in Python function that returns a unique identifier for an object, which can be useful for tracking requests like logs. In Markdown linters, different colors or highlights often denote built-in functions or keywords, making them stand out for readability. So orange is built-in. I guess I can test that. Or just colors, different color, whatever, gives a shit. Call next is a function that FastAPI passes to your middleware, callable, which you call with the request it got. Right. Request callable function, endpoint function. Does that tell us what's it called? Call next? No, it's fine. Who cares? Because I keep calling them endpoint functions. There might be a different name for it. This is how you let the request continue through the processing pipeline. It's a pipe. Its type hint would be a callable that takes a request and returns a response. And it's going to do it for me. And it's going to look like capital C callable, square brackets, capital R request, comma, capital R response, which I fucking love as a type hint. Hell yeah. Oh. Why? See, because I didn't expect it, so it's the surprise that if we were trying to stay on path, we would notice the surprise as an opportunity to go deeper. This is the chaining thing I described of like, oh, I could get the answer to a question that I have. Give it to me. But this is also an opportunity to like divert, but I'm not going to do it because this is. Why is the request? See, another one of these. Request. Technically, in this part, because it sees the whole message. It doesn't necessarily. I guess it does actually have like probably a closeness, whatever. But anyways. Part wrapped in square brackets like a list. How could this thing ever receive multiple requests? How could this middleware at once? I kind of regret. I don't think I like the work journal thing. I think these should be split up into different things. Like it's more. This is enforcing too much linearity on it, and this should just be a database request with a time window on it or a tag. Anyways, I could tag it. I don't have a tag system, so whatever. At once, I'll bet it's going to say that they're always technically in a list when they come in. Oh, the arguments of a callable. It's a tuple. It's acting like a tuple. Gotcha. So we're talking about it's the callable. That it's not. We're not. Yeah, I gotcha. Okay. Shibboleth, shibboleth. Give me all your shibboleths. Shibboleths. I think it's because for some reason a lot of these are behind Starlet. A lot of the imports seem to be via Starlet. And I think it's like in here. It gets sucked in through here somewhere, and I think there's like import request as request dot requests. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, and I think it's also a generic name, so it might get confused because like import request as request, like maybe it's getting confused there. Unclear. Async. Class does not define. Ooh, fuck. Okay. Alt-1 F1. We're gonna do the thing. Here we are over here. We're in SkellyCam. We're in here. I'm gonna say here. Just punch it, and I'm gonna say. See, this is where I wish we were getting the names, the titles. But I think we're gonna be getting that pretty soon. I think like processing is pretty close. I should remove the WebSocket stuff. Double check this for me. Pay especially close attention to the middleware part. Control V, punch it, and noticing how like keeping him in the dark. Like don't tell him what the other question was, or what the concern was, or what the context of the conversation was. Just like fresh eyes, take a look at this. Set up correctly uses a director. Uses the decorator to register an asynchronous middleware function that logs the start and end of each HTTP request, including the processing time and status quo code. Oh, and this might also come. Okay. Because now it might yell at me someday because, okay, we don't need you either. So Alt F11, click U by. Still, yeah, okay, so we got the router here. Just ensure that the log level is set appropriately and make sure that SkellyCam version are properly. Okay, yeah, so that's a weird way to do that. The importing that is a strange thing, but it's fine. 30 minutes, okay. I think that this is worth it because logging and observability is such a huge part of this. And this was like this is like a bulldog thing, but in the wrong direction. But it's like in service of logging, and logging is sort of almost like observability is kind of the whole name of the whole game in this whole space of like talking to shiny rectangles. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now do it, you coward. I'm gonna give them both at the same time, which is extravagant, but it's honestly pretty cheap. Still look at it in context of the HTTP routes. That's that typo of HTTPS would have confused it because that's a real thing. Typos that become real words are confusing. Interesting. I should contact my old philosophy of language professors. Fuck me running. Too many things. It's fine. Still look right. What I want it to do is say, oh no, some of those aren't async. Clicks the title and it becomes full-ish string. Ensure that the controller object it's so funny. It's funny. Make sure that okay. Middleware is set to log all HTTP regardless of the route, and the HTTP router object includes several endpoints that would trigger middleware logging. Each route in the HTTP router is defined to handle specific API calls. Middleware will log requests for each of these calls as well. I fucking love this. This is so useful. Oh my god, this is such a useful unlock. Actually, I have no regretsels whatsoever. Each route is defined to handle the middleware will log for dates of the ensure the control objects and methods like are implemented correctly and handle it. Okay, now I'm gonna give it the question. Is it a problem that some of the HTTP route methods functions whatever are async and some are not? Will that work with our middleware route as written? It can see the code twice for that at this point in its memory, so I'm not going to worry about it. It's not a problem that some of them are async and some are not. Which is appropriate because it needs to await of the incoming request by calling async. A wait call next. This setup will work correctly with both async and non-async route handlers in your fast API. How though? I'm confused by that. Doesn't it make an error if you await an async row standard synchronous function? So this is me asking it a question that I think I already know the answer to, and I think I already know why this is the wrong question, but I want to get it to say that. 20 minutes. Because I think what it's going to tell me is that like the wrapper of a decorator is always asynchronous because it's an ASGI server. Oh, it's like that's the whole point, is that because of the GIL. Oh my god, is that the whole point? Is that the whole point of Unicorn? What's Gunicorn someday? See, that's a route I don't want to dive. I don't want to dive down that route. There's no dopamine down there. There's only sadness. No, there's not. There's dopamine, but later dopamine. It's not a problem for me yet. However, Fast API internally, hell yeah, is a special call next is a special function provided that will handle both. Oh. Is that what ASGI means? Okay, it's like, this is funny. Like now I'm like pretending to be. This is I'm baby behavior. Of like, oh, I don't understand. Please explain it to me. It's like secretly I do understand. Yes, that is what it means. Fans of the show, aka people who've been watching this whole thing, will remember that I learned that like an hour ago, and now this is like connecting in the brain of this is the web of belief shit, which I've never explained on camera. Quinean Web of Belief, Hillary Putnam, 1970. That seems unlikely I would remember that. Kenneth Arrow, 1970 is something I've come across recently, and I hate with the depths of my heart Arrow 1970. Putnam 1970 I might love. Is it 72? Yeah, it's 70s. Never read that paper, but I like the class that the professor taught about it. I said I read it. I lied. He once told me, "You do such a good impression of a good student." Oh, WSG. Oh, web server gateway interface, which only supports synchronous applications. Ho ho. Okay. Is that what Uvicorn is? Alternatives? What's Gunicorn? I said I wouldn't. Gunicorn, and when will I need to care about it? Oh dear. I want those pictures to show up though. Uvicorn is a web server makes Gunicorn is the synchronous web applications. Is support for running asynchronous by using workers capable of asynchronous serving. You will need to care about when you're deploying a production application. It's great for development. Is used for conjunction. Is used for conjunction with recording and production setups for better managing multiple worker processes. Handle concurrent web requests. So it's needed when there's gonna be a lot of requests. Is it faster? What are pros and cons? What makes Uvicorn, god damn it, good for dev and bad for prod? And vice versa for Gunicorn. Explain fast, I'm an idiot. Because it's like, I don't want to keep taking this whole, but if it's going to tell me something that's going to affect the way I solve this problem, because it's like, remember it's like, oh wait, we're going to be sending like a shit ton of requests to the back end, like 30 per second for frames if we're running fast. So like so many of these things, they say things like, oh, that's good for dev but bad for prod. It's like, why, how, where, like what does that even mean? Like what is like what is good in this context? What are the advantages? Now it's going to tell me. Pros: supports hot reloading, which I'm not using. Provides detailed logging. I wonder how I feel about logging. Cons: not provide to manage multiple worker processes, which can limit its ability to handle high loads. What's a load? Is a load a lot of requests, or there's a lot of work? Gunicorn with Uvicorn workers. So it's a superset. Gunicorns make Uvicorns. Pros: makes multiple worker processes, improving abilities to handle many requests simultaneously. Is more robust and can recover from worker failures. Is more complex to set up. Fast for simple. So Gunicorn spawns Uvicorns. Show me what it looks like to make a Gunicorn versus a Uvicorn, and then I'm done. I don't think I need it right now, because the key thing there is that it's more complex, and so if I don't know if I need it, and I don't think I need it, and it's more complex, then I'm not going to use it. And now I really want to see if our logs do log. So 4 workers in this command. What are the workers used for? What do they do? Like, what is is it 1 worker per route? Like, is it handle 4 synchronous routes? Like, how do you pick that number? Is there a rule of thumb? Is there and we're back. Okay, where are we back? We are here. I would like to see if this middleware nonsense works. I added complexity to the thing that was not the main path. So yeah, we're gonna make it to 2 hours, and then that's it. Just I think it's like Dragon Ball Z. It's like what happened this episode? Nothing really. No, the plot did not persist. Didn't really move forward. Dragon Ball Z Abridged is like explicitly a better show. How we doing? We're here. We're sad. Where are we going? Okay, I have an idea. Thank you. Nice try. Appreciate it. Did I add that? You make the one on the right the way that it should be. We don't need it to be. That's okay. This is some of the we now get to benefit from our knowledge because it doesn't need to have async because it's automatically treated async because it's ASGI and because the Uvicorn has or Fast API has the whatever for handling it, the whatever, so it can always be treated as an async. It acts as an async. It might block, but we actually kind of want it to because the actual parts that need to be protected are already being protected deeper into the guts of SkellyCam with their various processes and whatnot. We might still someday encounter like the problem of Uvicorn is async and we're running a bunch of threads and processes, but I don't think we've hit it yet. But of course, we also wouldn't have had the opportunity to hit it yet, and we have had some like secret silent fails, which might also be a reason why we can't use HTTP routes to do the get frames. We can put various protections in various places, but then we have to start asking the question of whether or not that is more or less complex than the WebSocket solution, which is so close to working, in which we abandoned in service of this one because we thought it would be simpler. I just had a good idea, but I don't want to say it out loud. Not because it's a secret, but because I'll get distracted. Right, and now... I haven't committed anything yet today. Big mistake. Auto commit bot would be nice. Cron job? That's a cron job. I could try it on. Middleware for logging, but ultimately turning it off, recommenting out to stay on main path. How much time do we have? 10 minutes. Okay, let's do what we did last time, which is let's speedrun this shit. Okay, speedrun this shit. We are speedrunning this shit. How do we speedrun? We speedrun from the router. 10 minutes. Oh my god. I am in a hurry. Okay, so here we are. We do this. We yeet this back at the frame requester. The frame requester grabs it, encodes it. Okay, front end, new frames, and it's just a freaking dumbass little dictionary. And then if response, if response, if response, if response. Speed runs, man. Oh, and that's going to break. If response received. This PyCharm, what is that? Control Shift down. Hee hee ho ho ha ha. Otherwise, it will. Yeah. Otherwise, if it doesn't receive a response, or if it receives none, it will pass. Just pass. Which I can. Did we return anything? Yes. Thank you. That seems right to me, except it's not actually, because I think it's expecting a payload, like a multi-frame payload, but we don't need it. Received response. Order matters. I think that will just print it as a 200. This is like I always like. It won't fail. It might be weird, but it won't fail. Oh, I need to fucking merge 1.1. God damn it! No, I was gonna do speedrun. Oh my god, the talk is clicking. That's funny. If I ever figure out the webcam eye tracking thing and give it to JKL, and he could just do a bunch of fucking his like Tetris shit on like the speedrunners, and then I'm back to Laser Skeleton Man, and he's back to Tetris Man, and wasn't that always the dream? Okay, fuck this, everything, kill everybody, not in the world, but in this, just right here. It didn't. Still doesn't know how to die properly. We knew that about this. That's why we add this guy. But this whole thing doesn't die properly? That's more strange to me. Stop. What? Okay. That's a good way to soft hard kill it. Oh, what did I unplug the wrong one again? I did. Which means that the zombie might still be there. Rabbit. Because it's the red one. It's this one. God damn it. Okay. Speedrun. Oh no. Lost some seconds there. Because the game's done quick. Just like pure psychopath behavior, like truly. But I love it. Bless them. Psychopaths are not necessarily bad people. It's just it's a mental disorder. But you know that makes people not have empathy. Oh, waiting for process to detach. I wrote a paper about it when I was an undergrad, so I know what I'm talking about. Affective psychology, moral psychology was what I was reading. Was the class, and it was like. Anyways, focus. Doop doop boop doop boop. 6 minutes. Marathon paying attention to one thing. It emits, but it emits probably the wrong guy because it's expecting the wrong. It doesn't have one of those. Or frame requester. Wait, okay. Do I want to add it here? It's a queue object. Is that weird? It probably wants to be a queue thread. Fuck. It does want to be a queue thread. Definitely wants to be a queue thread. Q thread. Request frames, start request timer, shift F6. No, that's not right. I do want it to be, fuck, okay. So control B to that will go to here. This will become run. And it should be sad now. It's not. Oh, it's not because I already told it it was a thread, but it's not. So it's broken. So the linter's not working because it's broken because I didn't import this. Now it should be sad. But for the wrong reason. Oh, okay. Because it's trying to call run, which will trigger start, which I never really fully understood. And it's saying the default start doesn't take an input. Right click, show context. Tell me why you're sad, please. Unexpected argument. But now if I delete this, so now this will override start, which is the thing in a queue thread that gets triggered when you call run, which again, I don't like that. There might be a reason for it. There's probably a reason for it. Now it should be happier. Do I not understand how this works? Here we go. Self.frame requester we'll do a property. Target. That's gonna be a property. Def. Come on. Don't delete the WebSocket yet. We don't know. We're not sure. Okay. Wait. Frame. That was the wrong thing. Oh, it's because I let the machine write it, and I should not have. Because it predicted the wrong. Undefined. It will be an optional float. So that is saying either none or float. We got that, and then we got the setter, and then the setter just does like that, which I don't think I'm in a hurry. We're speed running. You only have 1 minute left. Focus. Okay, focus. And then, is it like this that it does? Or am I getting these opposite? Is it run? I think it might be opposite. Do we have any other queue threads to look at? Oh no, he can't see the time. He doesn't know he's running out of time. You hate to see it. None of this counts. He's disqualified already. Oh God, I can't even remember in here. Control Shift F. No. Shift. Queue thread. Workers. In the workers. Yes. Okay, so you're a queue thread, and your main who's it is named run. SkellyCam, your guy is named run. Is it even necessary? I don't know. It's not a fucking okay. Control Z, Control Z, 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 Z. This is why we love Git. See, the second I started adding stuff, I was already lost. And you, dear viewer, in the future, can learn. Oh, right, because this was... Oh, right, because this was about signals. And I was using... I think... Endurance told me, just make everything a widget. And I'm going to be... Yeah. Okay. So, and I'm going to leave it like that. We can firm it up later. And it's like I've had issues with more specific type hinting of dictionaries and stuff in there. And I guess this is where we would firm it up by adding more, like the multi-frame payloads and the pedantic and stuff like that. But we don't need it for now. Where are we? Frames. That's also self.new frames. Okay. And we were here before. Can look you in the eyes. Else. From. This is where I could do the ID thing. But I don't know. This is where the middleware would come in, because I, like, love that. Middleware. Okay. Extra 10 minutes on the clock. Crowd favorite. Lesson, yeah. Extra 10 minutes because the lesson was learned about what not to do in a given point. Like, adding new things needs to have a much higher cost in my heart, because it's always a bad idea. New lines is always new complexity, and new complexity is new potential for cleaves. Okay, connect the pipes. This is this. This is this. This is this. This is gonna block. It's gonna be super. It's gonna gum, I think, is probably the right way to say this, because this is gonna be a blocking call, and it's gonna take non-zero time. But it might be like, we don't know how fast it's gonna be, and the middleware will tell us that, which is so fucking great. Because that's the number of, like, request response. Like, what's that time? That is the time that we need to care about. And if we can use somebody else's mechanisms to give it to us, abso-fucking-lutely, especially if it's something like battle tested. He's burning through his stoppage time. This is probably where the blue's coming in. Okay. So let's catch it here. Where it is. Great. Open them up. Did we change something? Why does it look different? Run it. Let's find out. Probably shouldn't run if the back end fails. Oh, it just waits indefinitely. I don't know if it times out. It should time out, or notice it. It should notice it failed. We should have like a finally or something like that that hits the shutdown event, or on close. Did it even start? Yeah, some finalies somewhere. Like, we know that we need to teach our guys to die better. Done. Oh, because someone else was sad. Okay. Called with wrong values. Come on. We don't even like there might be something where like objects can't have signals. I wanted it to be on the debugger. Thank you. Now watch this. Currently, it should do nothing, or throw an error, I guess. None type has no blah blah blah. Get latest frames. See, at 2 hours I get like grumpy and salty and sloppy, and that's when I do all the work. It's stupid. It's a bad idea. It's fine. But we do like firm it up. Like might as well. We're already here. Line 107. We just brought 107, which is now we're over 100, so we know we're in the wrong here. Because we tried to call, it wasn't ready on none type. Okay, so if in this, I think this log statement has I should give it a response. Does it know what it's going to respond with? Can I just give it a response? I feel like I'm hijacking the term. Chaining is going to be an important concept here, of like chaining together the calls and like doing it like intentionally, and like we don't have to like hit them as API calls from the back end, but the request should be like, do these things in a chain somehow. Tell us that. Mix and match. Anyways, some of them are mix and match. Some of them are not. And if we had the hot reload things working here, it would be good, but I think because it's a stateful server, I'm actually excited to read those messages I got from Trent and JKL. Like, I think that they're both going to be like interesting for me. So that's a little treat. And also I have to pee, and it's 2:10. So historically, this is when I like start getting, I'm hungry too. I don't think I did not eat breakfast. I ate a little bit. Okay. Oh, right. So if I hit this, refresh this, get latest frames, get latest frames, get. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, does it work like this? Oh my goodness. Oh, I'll bet it does. Oh, fucking course it does. Okay. This is another part of the whole point, is you can bypass the UI. Is that what it is? Just detect? It is detect. And it takes time. Right? 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 Haha, it does. It does. It does all this. The thing that we knew takes too much time. Oh my goodness. I love it. Look at this. I can test things without having to look at Qt. And I can do Control-Shift-I. What is it? Or is it F12? Yeah. Network? Reload? It only has one big honking load, so it's not set up to give us more information, but I'll bet we could with middleware. It took 14 seconds. We're over. This doesn't matter. I'm sick of that joke. This is dope. I'm excited about it. Can't cover frames. Yeah, we know that. And we're back. It actually is fine. Was that detect? That was just detect. And it only finds the one. Ooh. What are you? This is all... I don't even know what all this is. Promise async. Oh, right, because Fast API, password manager. It's getting my like extensions and stuff. Promise callback. Add task. Stringify session storage. I don't know what any of this is, obviously. What are you? What are you? Who are you guys? Like, what? Can I zoom in? What? Who? It's up here, I guess. GPU processes. You got GPU processes right here. Web extensions, localhost. Localhost is my guy, right? Wait, P30. There's no way those match up. Can I make you bigger? Local detect. Yeah, it took 16 seconds. I don't know what any of this means. Or HTTP request and waiting for response took 14,000 milliseconds, which matches my gut check of how long that button click took. Waiting to transmit the response took 13 milliseconds. Waiting for socket thread took 18 milliseconds. I don't know what any of the rest of this stuff is. And what's this little? Ooh, who are you? Who are you? Can I make you bigger? Bigger. Everybody else go away. Render. Oh my god, when I like this is gonna be so fucking useful. Like what's this little guy? What's these little blumps? Over smoothed. You smoothed it too much. You can tell because it's not. You can tell because it's too smooth. Who's the big worker? Parent process. I don't know who you are, but this is okay. Focus, close, focus. Screenshots of the different time courses. Oh dear. I don't know what any of this is. I just want to see this. What? Make it bigger. Don't make me do this. And this doesn't get part of it. Okay. Cool. It's okay. They didn't know. Oh. Okay. Back to small. Big, 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 big. Oh, this is the thing I've always wanted in my life, you see. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. What's the word? How did I make that thing show up that let me zoom? Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know. DOM event. Document. Oh. Data. Flame graph is, oh, it's whatever this is. How do I want to zoom. I want to like click and drag on it. Someone probably knows how to. It's probably, it's just, I'm just not doing it right, I suspect. Paint. It's all these words I've been seeing for so long. It's like paint. It's like, I can intuitively get stack chart. Mm-hmm. Oh, also it's probably being screwed up. Oh, Jesus Christ. Show user timing. Marker chart. Who are you? Scientists, man, like the scientific part of the world, they don't know about this. Oh, there's, okay, there it is. Control shift or control. Oh, god damn it. Is it up here too? No? Shift? No? Flame graph? Yeah, with this? No? You're not? Fine. Stack chart, marker table. Network? Spectacular. Stappy. And it's like, we're put like at 2:30, I'm just like, done. Hard close, done. No denouement. We have passed the opportunity for denouement. Okay. Oh, right. And then, okay, so we can... Right. Can we do this? I still need to see this, right? Okay. Let's shut it down, start it back up again. No, we still need the front end because I don't think we have a way of building. There's no way to hit this without like it's something like annoying copy pasting because the default looks at camera 0 and we're currently using camera 2 because of that. We should have some -1. Maybe we should use like -1 to denote like first available. I like that. But we should still be able. Let's see, it's freezing here. Like there's some freezing that happens, but it's freezing independently of the backend operating. So, yeah. Where did you get that sadness from? Over here at the stack, request frames, frame requester. Oh, okay. Oh. Is it a string? It is a string because I'm sending it as a string. There's no way to know that, but I'm hinting at myself with the name of the variable that it is, because I sent it as a string, I think. And it was borking because I wasn't doing the none check in time, which is, it's like one of these things, like if I had set it up that it won't request it until it's ready, I wouldn't have hit that bug. So it's like part of the questions of, but then also it wouldn't have been a bug, but it would have been a potential bug because the logic was incorrect. Like I used it before I checked it if it would exist, and then I checked it right after. Anyways, and also we still don't know why that logo is not showing up. Never have. I now have to pee, so it's this. That's the real timer biology. This part takes a second. That's fine. We know it. We'll figure it out later. 14 seconds. We know how. Oh, we know how long it takes. Green lights flashing. Oh, it might work. No. No way. Camera 1. It's not going to do anything because right click. Does that work? Right click? Or middle click? I thought you said I could. Mr. Freemium thought you said I could do this. That's because this is probably wrong. MD code. Or maybe not, actually. It's BGR instead of RGB. I used to think it was because OpenCV is like so old, but it's not that old. It's from 2005. Maybe it's like using a really old format. Okay, so we got the image. And so now this, we know that this signal is that this, yeah, this is, nope. This signal in frame requester. Oh, I should check if it throws up when it tries to emit it. And I'll log a trace. Trace. You don't need to do that. For cameras with new frames with images from cameras. Oh, I got to make sure I grab the timestamps later. Yeah. A later iteration will involve the multi-frame cleanup thing. Yeah. I forgot what I said. I was distracted by a message. Okay. Start it again. Five minutes. 5 minutes till Grumpkin Pumpkin. But no, nothing with an L. Watch out for that L. That's probably like an old internet thing that people. That one's probably lost to history, which is probably for the best. Just like dumb joke. That's early days of Urban Dictionary. Response dot closed. Okay, what are you yelling about? Oh, we're getting debug logs from HTTP core. Oh, yeah, which we knew. That's fine. It's expected. But it's annoying too, so we're gonna turn it off. System login configuration. Configure logging. Up here, we're all, like in the hall of shame. don't do it until you need it. I will. This is the you send too annoying. Oh, actually, it shouldn't be a hall of shame. It's like it's probably good that they do it. It's just like I don't want to see them because I log. I guess it's like I can turn it on. That's actually not it. No. Does it listen to mine? Sending request. Start request. Oh wow. Send headers complete. Send header body started request. This is the middleware thing I wanted. Send body complete. I am the hall of shame. I am a shame. I would, well, I would call those trace. I could do something. Well, yeah, I could do something where I have something elsewhere that's like, I could, if, like if I'm setting to trace, then it turns that on. Like I can have that, but I don't want to do that right now. I'll just, this is actually, it's like, it's because it's breaking up the commands into like different parts that I didn't even really know exist. Like send the headers, receive the headers, which I love that. But it gums up the logs and it calls itself debug, what I would call trace. Because I sent so many commands as a part of the frame requesting, which we still don't know if that's like allowed or if that's functional. This is where the more experienced person might be like, might have the dramatic irony of knowing it won't work. Shout it out. I may or may not believe you, unfortunately, because at this point, I don't know very many people who have as much XP in the space that I do. These are my logs. No, HTTPX. That's why I was set to warning. Oh, wait. Not the only one. And you call. I'll let that be. No, I won't. Because that's still, again, it's like, it's reasonable that you would think HTTPX devs that that's an info call. But the way that I'm using it, it gums like a debug or a trace call because I'm making so many commits. Which, you know, it's like this is the kind of thing where it's like, wait, the devs are using it in a way that's different from how I'm using it. Like, they're expecting that each of those calls is like a high enough priority event to call it info, and now I'm hitting it 33 milliseconds, 30 times per second. Whatever. We'll see. Okay, who are we? What are we doing? Punch it. We are trying to get it to the part where it emits. We already did that. We're trying to connect the emitter. We need to connect the emitter, but we're not. There was something else I wanted to check. I think I just wanted to make it go back through to the breakpoint, and I kept getting distracted because of the logs. This is why I don't like these to be red, because that tracked as a red. I can change that in the logging and the color setting stuff. They just don't make it red. I was waiting for this, and yeah, I think I just wanted to see it. I think I wanted to. Oh, I wanted to see if it would throw up if it emitted a thing. It does not. Because remember, it's a queue object and not a queue widget. Connect signals. Okay. Okay, so frame requester, where do you live? You live inside of the manager. Yes. This is a good feeling. This is me connecting lower level things. Connect. I'm going to do, so I could call that, so the main widget camera grid handle new frames. Okay. And it's not going to be that. It's going to be a dictionary. This one I can have, yep. Just going to be dict here. We're going to make this later. To do, emit a pydantic model. Emit a multi-frame payload after I clean up that bonkers nonsense. Bonkers bytes nonsense. See, that's a good example of like, I was learning a lot of fun, important lessons in that stuff, but ultimately it added more complexity than it was worth, I think. And it was too complex. So, okay, how are we doing here? So it's not going to be a dot frames. Yeah, okay. Payload, just straight up dot items, I think. And it's just going to be an image. Where this is maybe, I think it's fine. I think ultimately it's a simpler thing. So it might be what we want, but I don't know. Because basically, like, I used to handle this all. Well, right now we're just like sort of sending around. Oh, this needs to be a queue image at some point. I can't remember how this is going to happen. Okay, it does it over here. Yeah, and then this is going to pull out the image. It's going to use the toQueue_image method, unfortunately. Okay, we'll just go steal that image. Is an np.nd array. We're being sloppy, but I don't think it's the wrong move. I think that that being sloppy is also just like not getting gummed up in stylistic, non-functional stylistic sort of hang-ups is probably another way to say that. Okay, on the back end there are models, and the models, among the different types of models for the cameras, there's a thing called frames, and in these frames there's a guy named frame payload. Way too complicated, this guy, and it has a bunch of stuff that doesn't need to be, including a method that shouldn't really be in there, which is this toQueue_image, which is calling the raw image, which is also in here, and that's just this image bytes. Shit. Okay, in this image. Okay, cool. Yes. We don't need that to be like that, but thank you. What? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I want to, but it's hard to travel these days. There's just too much going on. Okay. Really gotta pee. Okay, yeah, that little check, that's not bad. Okay, wait. Who are you? So we're in single camera. And you... Okay. And we're calling from the camera grid, which is a slot, which is being attached to this signal by way of the main widget, which admittedly is sort of doing this weird guts out thing, but it works. I don't know if this is wrong, but it's effective. Is this dependency injection? Truly don't know. SkellyCam. Okay, so what are we waiting for here? I'm waiting it. Okay, wait. So the frame requester is going to be here. I want to follow this guy all the way through. It's going to hit that. And then this is going, so I hit that and I hit Control B, and I'm like, oh, look, it connects through here. And then I say, what does it connect to? It connects to you. And then I want to put a breakpoint there, but not on the try, because sometimes those are weird. I'll put it here. I'll put it both places. Who cares? And yeah, that seems like a fine trace. Too many traces. I might actually trace is a trace, though. I mean, like, it ain't hurting nobody. It adds lines to the screen, but it's like I don't put comments, so I think it's like logs or comments. I don't know, especially because if they're written in a way that can't be false, right? Like, this is never going to be false until I change the payload stuff. We'll do that later. I don't mind that. This is like a way to, I guess, pop a image show. Okay, punch it. I do like the idea of adding like the little thing that's like, if the request for connect is a -1, it's just connect to, first available or all available. Anyway, colon maybe for all. -1 for one. It's going to take 12 seconds. And something's going to freeze, but that's okay. And the green light's turning on. Oh, right, because the green light blinks while it is connecting. And then it turns solid green when it's actually, and then when it turns solid green, it sort of registers as like connected. Until then, it's like if you call like cv2.video capture 0, the green light will, and then like wait on the next line. The green light, when you hit it, the green light will flash, and then when the light goes, and it will hang on that line, and then when it goes solid green, it'll go to the next line, and then you can grab images from it. So that probably, so if it is true that there is the sort of differences in routes between the red-black outer wires that give power, 5 volts of power, that connect to the red light, and then the 3.3 volts of data, the green and white center pins, sort of turn on the camera and start reading, it might be that there is some signal that's coming down the data pins, or that like something in the startup process. Like what could a startup process even look like for this? Presumably be something being processed on this like dumb board, this little baby CPU, like whatever that is. I should watch that guy's video who like dissolves these things and looks at them under a microscope. Oh, this is SkellyCam 8X. We've been down this route. 8X. What is? Okay, here we are. We're following it through. I have to pee so much right now. So it's step, step, step. Oh, everybody has dramatic irony when I talk about time, because you can see how long the video is. Okay. When I emit this, it should get caught over here. I'm going to say continue. Do we have it? Oh my God, y'all, if this works. Oh, is this a fucking string int thing? It is. Stupid. Where do you first get built? That should have... Oh no, because it doesn't... That should have hit the linter, but it didn't. Okay. It's the whole... Is it a string? Is it an integer? If the ID is 0, is it the string of 0 or is it the integer 0? It's like... Endurance set that thing up where it's like we're overloading, I think, the camera ID to just be string. So if you just cast it as camera ID, it just like it's whatever choice you made. Who cares? Oh, it's shit. Oh dear. Okay, well we're still. Oh god. Is it slop? Is it slop? It is slop. It's okay. And it's the update guy, and we're probably stopped over here. See, like to fix it. Oh my god, it's all over here. It's this camera grid is code. This camera grid code is old, so we can fix this particular problem by doing the camera grid, the camera ID thing, which does have the effect that I described of like setting it to be whatever you want. The problem is like I thought it was string. I thought we had decided string. I kind of want it to be string. This should be string, right? Okay. Oh my god. I want to see my stupid blue-green face show up here so bad. And I need a pee. I'm starting, like, it might run out. I might run out of brain. It should be here. So, like, I don't have too many more runs, you know? I should just be able to continue, right? We trust this. Hit it twice. Yeah, okay. Bye, thank you. Trust that too. Don't trust the rest of it. Step in, step in. If, oh god, it's, it's like these are the kind of thing I mean. It's like, so the cost of a bug like that where I'm like, oh, that's immediately the fix is relatively low. But I'm also now like, it's stressing me out because every time I add one of these little like, just like get it work, that's like tech debt that might live forever. And we don't like, we don't want it to. Eventually I could probably scrape this audio. Oh, that's what I'll do. Because like cron job auto process, the bot eats up all the repo and says this is your biggest sins. Lord knows that's coming. Lord knows that's coming. And we can use kind of like a mixture of experts. Apparently means something different than I thought, but it's like sort of like a mixture of experts, council of experts. And one of them will be like, what would John say about this? And it can just scrape all the audio here into a vector store and like look for a given, like flag this as something and then do a vector store, some sort of query into the vector store of like from transcripts of this. What's up, Kitty? Do it. F8, F8, F8. Okay, bytes. We recognize these bytes. So, okay. These are the same bytes. So we might not even need to convert it back to NumPy. We can probably just pull it straight through because I think those are the same bytes. Not the same, but like the same. They look the same. XD1, XE5. Oh, right. X tells you, /X tells you that it's, /X tells you that it's going to be a one of those. It probably means unsigned uint8, unsigned integer, 8-bit unsigned integer. And then it gives you two numbers, which are hex numbers of 0 through F, each of which is 16. So the maximum value is FF, which is 16 times 16, which is 255 or 256, which is exactly the format that these are in. Is that right? And then we got, okay, and so the image is not that, it's not that size. It's half of that size, which is where we got the weird 360 by 640 number. It's half of 720 by 1280. Oh my God, we're getting somewhere. And so the number we want to know now, if you take that number of 360 times 640, I think that's right. Let's do this. 640 divided by 360 should be 177. Thank you. And if I multiply it, then that's this many pixels times 3, because it's that many channels, and that 691,200 is the exact same length as that. And that's why it needs this information here, because it's RGB 888, which means it's an RGB unsigned integer 8, which is that's the numbers that we saw. Where'd you go? Wherever they were. That's the three numbers. So it needs to know the bytes, the byte string. It needs to know the width and the height, and it needs to know the channels times the width. Because presumably all those numbers matter to sort of be able to chippy chop it up into the kind of rectangle that's been optimized for the Q image thing, which I think is just some C code bullshit. Q paint device. Remember paint? We saw paint. They call it paint. All gray, apply color. Oh my God. Bits and bytes. Oh my God. And these all, I think, get wrapped up and like, this is some Python shit, I think. Auto-generated. Progress. Brain progress. These are just like the little tidbits I've like been just like, I don't know why it is that way, but you need all that to be successful. And just like piece by piece, it's just like the pieces connect. It's the web of belief. It's the Quinean web of belief. Google it, and you might not find it. It might be too esoteric, but I'll make a video, and then you'll find me. It's like the winter anthropometry tables. It's like, Google it, you'll find it. It's the one I put up online like 15 years ago because I couldn't find it when I looked for it. Not 15 years, 2014. Fuck me, like 4. Oh shit, 10. Okay. We're almost done. If we can, it all makes sense at this point. So if it breaks, then it's from something inscrutable. But if we're successful, then we see all the numbers. Weird that they were changing order, but that's debugger shit. We don't need to worry about it. Then Qimage come out. Some weird object. Depth 24. Don't know what that is. That's probably compression. It probably breaks up the interval of 0 to 256 into 24 intervals to make it smaller. That makes sense. Bytes per line 1080. Sizes in bytes. That's the number we should see. And this is the memory address. Fuck and yes. God in heaven. Cameras. It's one of the fundamentals, like, right? Like, it's one of the things, like, if we go forward 1,000 years into the future, we're still going to have something that resembles cameras. We're still going to have something that's designed to, like, pull samples from the ambient light array. they probably won't be chunked like this. It might be some event sensor. It might not be rectangular. That you might start associating rectangles with this era, like wires and rectangles. But light, man, light. It's always been about light. Light is the strangest thing there is, says that guy. And this is the on-screen size. Oh, you scale it. Oh, you make it a little bit smaller. And then you put it into an integer, so there's a buffer. I love this like writing. This is I guess it's JetBrains. It's PyCharm, but it's JetBrains. And then the pix map. This is probably not. Oh, you scale it by that. You get those numbers. You scale it by that amount. You flag it as keep the aspect ratio, and then I don't think it's necessary because I think this is maybe redundant, but we'll take it. And smooth transition. Oh, I guess there's a transformation. I don't know what the fuck that is. Whatever, who cares? And then we step over that. I don't know if this, I might need to continue, but this might also just do it. I don't know how long it might not update. Yeah. I'll take it. It's wrong, but I'll take it. Oh, I know why. That's so funny. You can see this orange thing. I think it's the width and height are switched, so it counted the rows out wrong. And that's oh my god, because that's what used to happen with the CRT frames. You'll go like and you have to like mess with the sync, and because the electron gun was getting out of sync, and so the rows would get spread across. Remember that? If you do, you might be what's the word? There's a joke there. You might be eligible for compensation or something like that. And joke being, if you do know what I'm talking about, you either like old technology or it was regular at some point for you. Who are you? Where are you? Handle image update, and it's one place. I'm pretty sure I know where. Because it's like rows by columns, columns by rows. Like, who gives a shit? It's either that one or the other one. Height. No need to yell. Okay. Are we still here? I'm going to still leave you here because I want to double check on that. This is very exciting. From out of nowhere, the 3-hour video has a conclusion. Well, don't get too excited. It might still crash. Remember rule number 1. Everything is broken and nothing ever works. If it breaks, it is not a surprise. If it works, it is shocking. That's the Black Swan event is when it works. Okay, and it has to starting up right now. Green light's flashing, green light stable. There it is. Step over it. Height should be the small one. Width should be the big one. Yeah, which means it was the opposite other way at the time, which is why it came out in portrait mode, even though this camera is in landscape mode. Because rotation is no rotation. Oh, I hit that point just now where the mental fatigue just hit. That is it. I was just like, ugh. Fans of the show. Doink. I just changed a number. The logic is the same. And then it has to go through, and I just say go. Go! Look at this guy. Look at this dumb face. Ugh. God. Oh my God in heaven. Jesus fuck. Thank Christ in space. Now, we're not done yet, but this is a significant hooking of a chain. Oh, I can't believe I made progress today. Skelly. Look how good it looks. Oh, we're doing it. We're doing it. I have to pee a lot, but we're doing it. There's no way we're not gonna do it. Bye. I'll leave you one. For the drama. Rabbit, rabbit, rabbit. Cow. The cow emoji looks like this. The cow emoji. Oh, all these emojis actually kind of look similar, and they're all round on the bottom, pointy on top, which gives a shit about that. We got the cameras working. Okay, so theoretically now, when I run this, hypothetically, I wouldn't have had to shut this down, but I think practically speaking, it's not hooked up properly yet. Theoretically, this should see 3 cameras, and this will probably be faster than 12 seconds because it has fewer. I think calling for a frame it doesn't receive is a slow process, but maybe I'm wrong. That's actually, we can check that. Oh my god, please, 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 you fucking piece of shit. I hate you so much. No, I love you. Please work. You're the best. Oh my god. Help. Oh, look, it looks so good. Ugh. Look how smooth it is. Oh my god, it looks great. Okay. How many more cameras do I have? Okay, how many ports do I have? 1, 2, 3. This is the box of shit that I took to SFN. Come on, where's another camera? If you pull on it from the cable, that part's not fragile. Okay. Does closed camera I don't think it does. Yeah, don't do shit. I am so excited. I didn't need to turn that off at that point. What? Oh, Jesus. Oh, my God. I wonder... what a momentous occasion. God, this would be such an... like, when this works, there are so many things that I want to do that I'm just like, cameras aren't working. I mean, like, they are working, but they're not like they should. And so it's like a lot of my, like, I really want to spend some time recording a thing. Energy has been spent. Like, I just never, it's like, I don't, there's like a part of me that just like doesn't really like using broken stuff. It's like, oh, this works. I can make it work, but it's not the way it should be. Like, that's like a younger energy. Like, these days I'm like it's like harder to use because it's like I'm more tool maker, less tool user, which is not great. I need to be doing both because using the tool makes you better at making the tool. But I think we're now entering back into a phase of like, this is now the tool I want to use. Okay. So we now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cameras attached. This one's blocked. So this will be 6 cameras, which is the number that Aaron requested before he recorded his next session. He threatened me. He said, if you don't get new SkellyCam working, I'm going to use the pre-alpha code. And I was like, don't do that. That hurts. That breaks my heart every time that happens. It's like that one's the best version we have. It's still true because it's so simple, and it doesn't have to, it's like that allows us to, in retrospect, it's like it dumping into Qt land put us into concurrent Python land, which is in retrospect, bad place to be. It's fine. It's just wrong tool for the job. Python is a snake. Snakes go in straight. Snakes go. If you're trying to do things asynchronously, more than like interactivity, I think like Python's not for interactivity. Oh my god. Oh my god. Please. Please. They're all blinking. They're all blinking. Oh my god. Yes. Oh my god. It's a little choppy, which is not shocking. Oh, is it lagged? A little bit. But it's not accumulating. Okay. Which means that I'm okay with this being kind of like the performance bottleneck. Like this is a fine performance bottleneck for this because the next iteration, because we know that there's a better solution because we're recording on it. This is C under the hood, and then slobs is like a electron call on top of this. I think they do use WebSockets, but I'm not sure. But for the pure Python, this if this is approaching the maximum performance of the pure Python solution, I can live with that because the current one is so bad. See, we're recording now. We're not recording. We're streaming from 1280 by 720 images at the same time, and we're not getting any frame accumulation because we never had to. And presumably on the back end, we could be dumping these to disk without having problems because it should be there. It should be protected. We'll add the recorders later, I guess. Tomorrow. Recorders. Okay. Stop it. Okay. And I don't have a way to stop the cameras. I also have to connect, like, the close cameras button doesn't work and things like that. I might be able to hand this off to Philip, actually. He can handle that kind of stuff. And that would be a good way for him to kind of like learn some of these guts. He might enjoy that. I'll ask him. Because then I can go work on Blender stuff, which I can tell by view count on videos that the world really wants the Blender stuff to work. Okay. All right. Oh my god. It's like this is I won't trust it till I see the videos. Wait. I can't. I have to change the defaults. This auto connects to defaults, which is a kind of annoying thing. And I actually don't think there's a way to not do that in the UI at the moment. So I wanted to check something. Okay, models, cameras, frames, configs, camera configs, camera 1 config. Default is the dream. I suspect this will make the front end noticeably choppier, but I think it'll still work. This is the preferred, this is like the default for these cameras. I think they're advertised as 1080p cameras, which, assuming that those aren't lies, that presumably means that there's 1920 by 1080 of these, whatever the physical analog of a pixel is. Pretty weird. Did you see the cameras? Get over here, Skelly. You're the star right now. Get it, get it. Get it, get it. 1920 by 1080. 1920 by 1080. 6 cameras at 1920. See, choppier. And like, you know. Okay, so whoop. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Yeah. So, you know, something's adding up, but and my computer's yelling. How we doing? CPU's pretty heavy. CPU's working hard. PyCharm makes, I mean, you know. It's all the Python, it's the little guys. Are you growing? You are. I'll bet there's some frame accumulation happening in the back. I'll bet if I look at the, you know, yeah, memory's going to be creeping upwards. Or not. Cool. Is CPU creeping upwards, or is it just high? Yes, I have a lot of RAM. And a lot of GPU. Yeah, okay. 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 All right. I mean, you know. I'm gonna let you run. I'm gonna let you run till you crash. You crash. If you need to crash, baby, you just crash. Just crash whenever. And just to be clear, the choppiness on the front end should not denote on the back end. And I'm gonna need to put like annotation stuff on here. And it's gonna, one of the things it's gonna show is like front end frame rate and then back end frame rate. Like we'll call it better things because basically it's making a request for frames. And then the request for the frames plus the time it takes to update the images is something greater than 33 milliseconds. So it misses. Oh, is there? Oh, and I also don't think I'm currently doing any like synchronization checking, so there might be. Yeah, there's a little bit of like look at the orders are all weird. So top left versus middle. I don't know. But yeah, so the videos that got recorded from this would theoretically, like, they're not allowed to skip frames in the recorder, like on the recording side. Like that's not within the logic. So theoretically, it should even if the front end is choppy, then the recorded data is still good, which is the right way to do it. Drop your frame rate, not your recording, because the raw data that's the gold. I think is it. It doesn't seem like it's accumulating any lag. Okay, I am gonna let it run. Thank you for following me on this fucking long journey. If any of you actually did, and if you didn't, then thank you, hypothetical human false ghost that lives in my cockatiel mind that let me pretend like there was that allowed me to, you know, there was this blathering at the camera thing is working somehow. Okay, I'm gonna let it run, see if it crashes. I don't think it will. Okay, bye. Next time, either more camera stuff or Blender stuff. I don't know. At classwork, I have to do some class stuff. Whatever. Bye.